Hey guys, welcome to Tip Tuesday. I'm back. We've got a lot going on today on Tip Tuesday, and I want to give out a shout out to my girl Stacy Loxon, who is a new friend and a customer, and she really wanted to know about under eye circles and puffiness and some other things. So I'm going to teach you some cool stuff today. So on this side, we have an exaggerated under eye circle. I took some liberties with markers because my natural under eye circles are not super bad, and so I'm going to give you different techniques because you might just have a little bit of darkness there. You might have like where it's nuclear, like no matter what you put there, nothing works. And so on this side of my face, I'm going to teach you the benefits of what makeup people call baking. So I'm baking over here because baking is something that occurs over time. So I decided to throw it on. So first things first, if you have under eye circles and puffiness, I'm going to give you some techniques to cover it, but you need some help skincare wise. So we have two different eye creams that are great for this. So the first one is our Time Wise 3D eye cream. And this one is great if you are looking to prevent signs of aging or you have mild to moderate signs of aging around the eye area. So that would be fine lines. So this does fine lines, wrinkles. It also reduces the appearance of under eye circles and takes away puffiness. Now, if you're like, Emily, I need help. Like you're already experiencing eye sagging, fine lines, wrinkles. This guy is our Time Wise Repair line. And our Repair Eye Cream is for women who already are having issues with their eye area. So this one's great because it has a metal tip. So you can use that as, okay, focus on that camera. You can use that as an applicator, so it goes on freezing cold, but this does that too. So it's under eye circles, puffiness. So this one's like, you want to go from sagging to bragging. Like this is the one you need. So that's kind of great. So those are some options just to help like skincare wise. But I want to talk about under eye circles. So first off, if you have mild under eye circles, you would use, everybody uses this. Everybody starts out with this. It's called Under Eye Corrector, and it is a miracle product because it is one shade of peach. And an under eye circle, if you look here in its purest form, is like purple and blue, and peach neutralizes that. So instead of just covering your under eye circle, this is actually going to neutralize the tone of it. So definitely, whether you have just like a little bit or it's nuclear, like you need this guy. So the other thing that I recommend, I always plug this brush. I swear weekly I talk about this brush. It is the cream, this one's kind of dirty, but it's the cream color brush. It mimics a finger, so it allows you to get into that line. And the big mistake I see with under eye circles is that, say your under eye circle is just this line here. Most people tend to fill in this under eye circle all the way up to underneath their eye, like that whole kind of watermelon shape. And what happens is now you've made this skin lighter than this skin again. And so you actually sort of reverse what you just did. So it's important just to keep it in the line. Apparently I can't color. Everybody's different. It's genetics, right? So some people have it kind of like it goes up into here, and some people it's the whole dang thing. Point is, you really want to focus on that area. So what you're going to do is whether you just have a little bit of under eye darkness, I like to take some of this under eye corrector, okay, put it on my eye like that. It's got like a little sponge thing applicator, so I just put it on like that. I take my cream color brush, which mimics a finger. It's pointy, right? And I'm just gonna dab this over the under eye circle, the one that I created. So, oh my gosh, look at that already. I mean, I hardly put any on, right? So that's just a little bit of under eye corrector. Okay, dab, dab, dab. You always want to dab, right? Because you start wiping, you're going to wipe away the product. Now, I get this question all the time. Do you do all this like under your foundation or over it? And I will say I've been trained by different makeup artists. 50% do it under and 50% do it over. I personally believe in doing it over a layer of foundation. So I actually have foundation on my face, because I find that if I do it under, I don't know, I'm just like not skilled enough for something and I end up wiping it all away. So this is a really bad under eye circle. So I'm going to do just a little bit more of this under eye corrector. Like I said, not everyone is going to be bad. So if you just have like a mild under eye circle, you could just do this under eye corrector and a little bit of another product we're going to talk about, which is what's happening over here is translucent powder. And translucent powder is clear, like it's really fine. You probably can't really see that. Oh, there you go. It's a very, very fine powder. It does not add any color to your face, but it helps soak up oil and shine and sets your makeup. So you could just do a little bit of under eye or translucent powder to set that. Okay, so we did under eye corrector, but you're like, okay, I can still see it a little bit, right? You've got really bad under eye circles. Some people do. Then what I like to do is take a little bit of our Mary Kay concealer, and this is an amazing concealer. So I have some other areas I'm going to do too, but we won an award for this at one point. Just like you just need like a little bit and it doesn't move. Again, I like to make dots because I feel like, back to second grade or whatever, like I'm capable of connecting dots. And so again, we're going to really load up the concealer there. Now this under eye circle is pretty bad, so I'm going to do that whole under eye thing. But if yours isn't bad, and again, I like to kind of dab it with my finger. Now you might look at it and go, oh my gosh, I can still see it. You can do a little more. And then we're going to bake it. And if you've never heard of baking, it's actually been a thing in the drag community for a really long time. But basically you load up on concealer. Kim Kardashian does it too. Not that anybody really cares about that, but it just, what baking does, so what baking is, so I have my concealer. Now, I could just be good with this and just blend it with some powder and be done, right? It's pretty good actually. But what baking is I like to take, this is our fluffy foundation brush, right? Or not foundation, sorry, eyeshadow, fluffy eyeshadow brush. Put a whole bunch of this translucent powder, and you really, really kind of want to shut your eye when you do this because I've gotten this in my eye before. It doesn't feel good. You really load it up there, okay? And what this does is it helps actually bond your concealer to your foundation. It takes away that creasing sometimes that can happen. I mean, you just really load this on. It's going to look ridiculous, and then it'll look good. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So you see this side's been doing this the whole time I've been talking. And you leave it on there, and then when you wipe it off, so then what you do, so it's going to bond that concealer and that under eye corrector to your foundation. A lot of times, if you have more oily skin and under eye circles, you tend to like do all this and it looks great and then it sort of melts off throughout the day. This baking really helps with that. It also gives you more of like a poreless finish. But so what you do is you leave this on. You're supposed to leave it on for like 5-10 minutes. I don't always do that. I don't do this daily, PS. But if yours are really bad and you struggle with this, like most people are willing to do this just because they want it to look good, right? So, but what you do when you're done, even if it's just for a few minutes, is you take a fluffy powder brush like this, and obviously we're not going to go out in public like this. That'd be pretty terrifying. It's actually kind of like the football look thing, but not quite. And you're going to take a fluffy brush and just flick it away. Right, we got a little bit right there. I don't know what's going on over there. Let me check the mirror. Oh. That was a fuzz. Okay, we're good. So yeah, you just kind of flick it away and it keeps that area, it sets that powder and that concealer in there too. So I'm going to do this one a little early just because I'm not going to sit here that whole time. But yeah, so remember what it looked like before. This one actually looks better even with a marker in it than this one because I put more concealer on this side. So yeah, so I hope that helps you just kind of like cover up your under eye circles, go from sagging to bragging if you need the eye cream, yeah, just make sure you stay in the line if that's where your under eye circle is, and you can take it, you can do any of these techniques up here. Another thing a lot of people will do is they'll take a little bit of makeup setting spray and you just kind of spray it in an X and a T, and it molds the molecules of your foundation and all that baking and all that stuff you did and keeps you looking like you just put it on all day. So hope this helps. Have a good day.